The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
You never know. These were the words echoed by Chris Jericho on a recent live stream, a live stream which he did during AEW's World End, mind you. Yes, Chris Jericho held a live stream on YouTube during AEW's final pay-per-view of the year, World's End. Yes, Jericho, Chris Jericho. This is a response to a fan asking him, and make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. A fan asking him if he's returning to WWE. So, if you've been, I don't know if you know, but there's been for recent months, Jericho has not been seen on TV since April, May in AEW, and now for the last few months, there's been rumors of Chris Jericho possibly heading back to the WWE, and he's been kind of putting out teases and hints here and there on social media platforms like TikTok and such about a return to WWE possibly, right? So he didn't get a straight out answer. I mean, this is not a yes, but it's not a denial either. All right, this is not a denial. If he was saying you're staying in AEW, he would outright say no, I'm not returning to WWE. I have a contract at AEW. I'm staying in AEW, right? You would think, right? But that's not the answer he gave. The answer he gave to a fan asking on a live stream, you never know. During AEW's World End, mind you, you would think a contract employee of AEW would not hold a live stream during AEW's final pay-per-view, but he did. So that probably means Jericho is done with AEW. Now, obviously, he could be trolling WWE fans about possible return to WWE. He could be trolling it, but I don't think so. I don't think he's trolling them at all. I think it is a really strong possibility he is coming back to WWE. This is not a denial, right? He hasn't been seen on TV for months and months, and I don't think there's really a need for Jericho in AEW anymore. I think he's done all he can do. His last run in AEW, the Learning Tree, was, not well liked. People didn't like the Learning Tree run of Chris Jericho. It felt that part of Jericho's AEW run, was the last one, was really the weakest part, I believe, of his AEW's career. I didn't like it, and a lot of people didn't like the Learning Tree run of Chris Jericho. And after the Learning Tree stuff ended, I'm sure we went and toured Fonzie, I believe, and he hasn't been in AEW TV since, and now there's a possibility that he's going back to WWE, and I think it'll be fine for him to go back to WWE. The thing about him going back to WWE is, I think he did all what he can do for AEW. When he came to AEW, AEW was just a baby, right? Early stages of becoming a big rival company to WWE, right? It was just early stages where they needed star power, right? AEW needed star power. And Chris Jericho, being a big star in WWE for many, many years, was somebody they needed. Right, sure, AEW's first few years had Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Moxley, sure. But Jericho was, the thing is, Jericho was a huge star in WWE. I mean, right, he was a great heel babyface, and he had some great matches with some legendary wrestlers like The Rock, Austin, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kurt Angle, you could name it, Batista, John Cena. The list could go on and on. Even CM Punk, and he was there. I think he was there not just he was there to help build talents there too, right? To get talent over. Remember his groups. He took in some young talent like Sammy Guevara, right? Right? People like that. Okay, right? I think he did what he was supposed to do in AEW, help build up young talent, so young talent become big stars in a way, right? Bigger stars. And now since he's obviously, I think he's in his 50s now, might be in his 50s. Let me see real quick. Yeah, he's 55. I think it's okay for him to have one last run in WWE and doesn't need to be to build up talent in WWE. I think it's done that for AEW because AEW, yes, there's talent in WWE you need to build up, especially young talent. But you got a lot of established stars. You got big stars in WWE who could help with that. With AEW, when he was there, it was not just it was about building up the independent stars to be more mainstream for a more mainstream audience. And I think he's done his part. So I do think he's coming back to WWE. What do you guys think? Like, share, subscribe, comment below.
Come on. Thanks for watching him, bitch.